Hi everyone, this is Gary Wilson. Welcome to tonight's live Path to Profit webinar. We've got investor agent students on, we've got flipping students on, and we've got rental profit students on. From time to time you'll hear me mention those other programs. We have some people that just did the flipping one this past fall. The rental one we haven't done since, my gosh, I think that was late spring, early summer of 2014. And we've had a lot of people showing an interest in that, especially lately, because everybody's hearing that we're headed for another economic dip and the residential business is going to slow down, and obviously that means it's time to pick up some rentals. So if anybody has an interest in that, let me know. Maybe we'll do a webinar just on that program, or if you just want to know more about it, just call me, text me, email me, or Beverly, and we'll fill you in on what goes on there. It's a way to take what you're learning from the investor agent program, and if you're ready to get your own rentals, or you're close, you think you're a couple of months away, this will be the program to take, and you'll be looking at it from a much finer level of detail that you need to when you're actually investing yourself. Okay. Any case, just a recap from the last couple of weeks. If you remember what we said we're going to do the week between Christmas and New Year's, we're going to kind of start from the beginning of the material in the investor agent program. So the week between Christmas and New Year's, if you're brand new, go online to your membership page and look for that recording, that webinar, and listen to it and watch it and take notes, because you'll know what you should be doing first. Okay, very, very important. The next couple of webinars we went into, again, locating the correct neighborhoods within the correct towns. And then the next one after that was we went through some analysis on rentals and some analysis on flips. We also went into the 13-step process you go through when you work with investors, one for flipping, one for renting. Very similar, but there's a definite difference in material in the middle section of those. So for the new folks, you don't want to overwhelm yourself or kill yourself with information and knowledge, but if you can listen to those over the next few weeks, it'll reinforce what you're studying on your own. Okay, and that brought us up to where we are tonight, which is I'm going to show you some easy tools to use, excuse me, to find more inventory. Low-hanging fruit type stuff that a lot of agents know they're out there, but a lot of us don't use it. But also, we're going to get into the letter we give in the class. We're going to dig in that letter again. I'm going to bring it up, and I'm going to give you some examples of how to use it. And we're actually going to go into some court records, okay, to show you how to find potential sellers in the court records, okay? And also, by the way, that letter is very adaptable also to FSBOs and expireds. I don't really recommend that. I'd rather you use it to approach people that you find in the court records first, and people who own rentals already. And then I'm going to show you a page of web links to show you how to find your particular county court records, okay? And I'm going to use the example of Orlando, I believe. So that's what we're going to do tonight. There's a brief recap. Before we get into the content, though, let me check here for questions. So let's go back down here. Everybody's saying hello, and hi, everybody. Let's see. Sherry asked, did I get tickets to family reunion? I got them actually within the first 10 minutes. So I was amazing. I thought I was going to send it out there, and I'd maybe get 1 or 2 responses. We had several dozen responses. And thank you. Yes, I am having a good year, and I hope you are too. We're going to help you make it an even better good year. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Everybody's saying yes. Good evening, Gary. Okay, I can hear you and see your screen. Olga says thank you for covering this topic. Hi, go. So, hey guys. Ironically, this was already preordained, and Olga had an email I got today. It was exactly about this subject. So, Olga, you're gonna really love this. Make sure you got your pens and pencils handy. And again, remember to get the link, or the link for the recording tomorrow. Frank, we got Frank. We got a couple people from Western PA. John McCann. We got started. This is interesting. Okay, let's see here. Sorry, guys, I got off on a tangent there. And that's Raphael. Hi, Raphael. How you doing, buddy? one of the new Celebration students. Celebration is, if you don't know, guys, it's a town just south of Orlando. Great area to be in. And Anastasia, let me know what time tomorrow. Okay, Anastasia, tomorrow, if you're able to call anywhere between, say, 8 and 10 p.m., that would be ideal. I can be flexible, though. It's just I've got other calls in there, okay? Okay. Let's see. This is Melanie. Melanie, so questions related to the current topic, targeting properties. Actually, Melanie, you can raise any question you want. This is an open forum, and what I try to do is cover general questions in the beginning. Then we go into the subject matter, and then we follow up with more Q&A. Those questions at the end will be typically more related to the content of tonight. Peter just sent out 50 booklets. Wow, Peter. That's awesome. I recommend 25 in the beginning, but 50, that's not a bad deal. Let me know, Peter, if you could, what kind of response you get, because I know Scott is struggling with that. He's on his second booklet. So Scott, matter of fact, Scott, I'll just tell you, since you sent out your second booklet, statistically, you should be getting 3 calls for every 25 booklets. That's been what we're seeing. But that's a statistic. One guy might get 7, another guy might get 0. So after the second booklet, and this is for everybody on the webinar here, when you're using the booklet technique, you want to take the opportunity to stop in and visit these guys, whether it's chiropractors, dentists, engineers who own their own contracting companies, whatever the case is. Pop in, introduce yourself, okay, and say, hey, I'm Scott. I'm the guy that's been sending you that investor booklet with the inventory and the tools. What do you think? And typically, you will get a neutral or non-committal response, okay? Because you're kind of catching them off guard a little bit. It's not quite door knocking because you've already kind of primed the pump, so to speak. So what you do at that point is you preempt them. You say, hey, don't worry about it. I understand, you might not be ready to discuss this right now, but let's do this. What if I set you up on a search of properties in your area, okay, that meet your criteria, just for you, just in your area? Doesn't cost anything, no obligation. I never had a no to that question. And what I do is I say, great. How about if I call you at 9 o'clock tonight or 8 o'clock, whatever I used to use 9 o'clock. I just have a few questions to help me focus in on the search. And I just need some criteria. Now you've got excuse me, an appointment set that's a non-contact. In other words, it's over the phone. They've already got something of yours that they should see as value. Okay. Generally, they're not throwing this thing away. And then you can get them to talk about, what's more appealing to them, buying rentals or buying flips. Have they ever invested before? They know anybody who invests. What's that experience been like? Just build rapport, okay? Build rapport first, always and every single time. Even on second and third and the 99th conversations, always reconnect and rebuild rapport first, all right? And then you look for commitment, which is, yeah, I think I like rentals. I've thought about it before. Once you get to that point, you can say, I'll tell you what, I'll set you up on a search. If if it turns out down the road you decide to do this, and we'll work together, I'll give you some tools you can use, offer to give them the calculators and the tools, and follow up with an email giving them the calculators and tools. Okay. Say at some point I have to qualify. I can do it tonight if you want. What I'm looking for is basic information because I have to demonstrate to other agents that you're qualified. Okay. Now that part, you've got to use your judgment. You got to determine where are you in the know you, like you, trust you sequence. If it's brand spanking new and they still seem kind of cold and hesitant and nervous, don't go there yet. Just plant the seed in their mind that you will eventually have to do that. Okay. So that's a judgment call. But in any case, you take it as far as it's a dance. You're trying to feel where you are in the rapport building phase, where you are in know you, like you, trust you. Okay. But that way you start to profit on your efforts. You're getting clients, you're getting them lined up, you're getting to look at properties. Okay. So Scott, if I was you, that's what I would do. I would make a commitment. It's Wednesday now. I would commit to seeing. We've got 7 business days between here and next Thursday. So pick tomorrow, Monday, Wednesday, and next Friday. And just start like that. 4 guys. Go visit 4 people. If you can do that, Scott, we can talk about it more tomorrow night. But that's for everybody on the call here. If you're doing the booklet, remember that. That's how you maximize the benefits from that subject. Okay, let me see if there's more questions. Let's see. Scott says, oh, he's also, yeah, that's right, sending out 50 per month. I know the numbers will eventually even out. My thought is the calls will likely start somewhere in the neighborhood of mailing number 5. It's actually the bulk of them, Scott. Oddly enough, it's usually around the third one. That's what people are telling me. I don't know why. But every area could be different too. It's a lot of it's culture, societal type things. I mean, every area is different. Okay, I think we're caught up on the questions here, guys. So let's do this. I'm going to go right into, excuse me, the letter. Here it is right here. Okay, so if everybody, and I'm going to slide my panel over, guys. So I'm not going to be able to see your questions for a moment here. I just want to see my entire screen. Okay, so this is the letter that I give you in the class. And remember, you get it in the class. You also get it in your content that's delivered to you when you go into the website. But we give it to you to use, and essentially it's presented to you from the position that we're going after people who own rental properties. That's the example we use in class. You can actually use this letter for a number of different reasons. So what I want to do real quickly is just go over the letter. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because you've all seen it. But remember, what we're doing is we're boxing in the reader. We box them in because number one is they get this in a letter, a plain Jane vanilla envelope. All right. Standard letter size, nothing fancy. Their name and address is handwritten. Your return address is handwritten. No, you don't put on there on the address on the envelope that you're a realtor. You do disclose that here in the letter. So they open up the letter, name specific, first sentence, property specific. I'm writing to you about your property located at 17 Elm Lane. Okay. Then what you want to do is lower their defenses. I'm not suggesting you sell your property if you don't want to. They're going to be like, well, what's this about? However, this is your statement of fact. Inventory is tight right now. Statement of fact followed with a power statement. And I have clients like Mr. Matajasic or Mrs. Smith or Mr. Jones who want to buy a property just like yours in your area. That's a power statement. You not only tell them you got buyers, you actually name one by last name. And remember this, guys, always get that person's permission first, okay, and only use last name. That's why I specifically sought you out. You make them feel special. Then you give them the soft pitch. So even if you're just curious about what your property would sell for, and sell for not what it's worth, but what it would sell for, okay, you're planting a seed. Text or email, I will be glad to go give you a free copy or free property valuation, All of my contact information provided below. And there's your disclosure stuff, okay? Your name, your company's name, your address, et cetera, et cetera. And I always put this tagline on there. We instruct, inform, and assist our clients and advisors in building wealth and income through real estate with their homes and investment properties guaranteed, okay? And this is my sign off. Sincerely, Gary Wilson. Okay, that's the letter. All right, now let's go into this. Actually, let me start here. Okay, so here's how we use the letter. The first thing is, you guys know you can all have access to your county's tax assessment databases. Every county has one, all right, and they're all named differently. Let's see, let me do this. I'm going to split screen, and I'll bring one up that's going to coincide with the court records I'm going to show you tonight. So, Allegheny County Real Estate and Assessment. So the typical format is county, the word county, dot your county's name, dot your state, CA for California, FL for Florida, you name it, okay, dot US, okay, and you get something, they may look like this. You have to agree to their disclosure, and you can go look for properties, okay. Now, a lot of them you can actually go in and search by criteria, okay. In other words, give me all the properties that have 3 units in a particular zip code. All right, but what I really want to show you tonight is this. Is this it? This is it. Okay. Because there's literally 3,000 some odd counties in the U.S. and there's several hundred in Canada. And I'm going to show you the some Canadian websites too. So hang on to your hats for the Canadians on board here. So this is called BRB. All right, BRBpublications.com. It's a free website. And it gives you, just like it says, key public record sources for legal and investigative professionals. You're not legal, and you are somewhat investigative, but you definitely are a professional. So what you do is you go down here, click on your state. Okay, this is just for the U.S. here. I'll show you what we do in Canada here in a second. All right. And there's paid versions. You can actually pay people to do this stuff for you too, guys. I don't recommend it right now. Right now, I want you to learn the material and learn the tools to learn how they work. And when you eventually get to the point where you have to start delegating things, this is something you can delegate. So let's pick Florida, because I just spent several weeks there. I got one more week, second week of March. And let's choose, we just selected Florida. Now we can see everything that's available in Florida. And look at that. That's a lot of stuff. You can look at vehicle information, tax liens, if you're into the tax lien business. As a matter of fact, guys, I may have a guest speaker on. His name's Ted Thomas. If you're interested in learning more about tax liens, how they work, how you can buy them, how you can profit from them, please let me know. Let Bev and I know, because what you guys tell us tells us what you want to know about, what you want to learn about, and we can show you what to do when it comes to tax lien certificates. I'd say, okay. In any case, you can get all kinds of licensing information. Like what types of professional have licenses, and you can search for individual specific people who have licenses. Okay. Like a chiropractor or a dentist, for example, and you can see how long they've had their license. All this stuff is available. But let's go to I want to go to the county. So let's pick Orange County, because that's where Orlando is, and I spent most of my time in and around Orlando. And look at this, right off the bat. You've got all these courts, okay? Circuit Court, County Court 3, lots of county courts, right? Orange County. So let's go to the Orange County website. Everybody, just stick with me here, all right? I'm just want to show you how you find this information. I'm going to give you an example, and I'm going to expect you to play around with it yourself. And I'll do a real quick review here, okay? So you start with BRB. This is the home page. Select your state. So everybody write that down. Select your state. We'll pick Florida, okay? Then once you're there, you should select your county. I mean, if you're doing something specialized, obviously that's all over here. But we're going for court records. So we're going to select county. You can see there's a lot of counties in Florida. We're going to pick this one right here. If I picked Okeechobee, it'd be in the middle of the lake, so there's not much there. So, in any case, I'm going to go here. I want to see the recorded document location. So I'm going to go to visit their website. Okay, bring that up. Just hang on a second. Okay, there's a nice lady who's going to, she's the comptroller. Let's go down here. Let's look for official record search. It also was up here, by the way, official records. See, right here. Look at that. Free calculators, forms and publications, tax deed sales. You can, if you guys are interested in tax deed sales, start there. I wouldn't do anything yet. Don't take any action until we talk about it, but at least you can learn about it. Okay. So official records, facts, all it's just recording fees. In any case, I like to start down here. I don't know why, it's just an old habit of mine. But okay, they have a disclaimer just like everybody else. So you're going to say, yep, I accept all the rules and regulations of looking for court records. So you type that in, and lo and behold, here you go. And by the way, this does not cost us one dime. And the reason I point this out is it used to be most of these were free, at least every one I ever came across. And we're starting to see more and more counties charging a fee for access to this data. And I know that all of our students in Nashville have discovered that, all right? In any case, let's plug in here. Let's pick, by the way, when you do date searches, you don't need to do more than like a week at a time, and you'll see why, because there all kinds of stuff gets filed within a week. So we're going to start last week on January 20th, go to this week on January 27th, and I don't know anybody's names, but let's pick a real common name like Wilson, because I know being in Wilson, there's 7 billion people on the planet, and I swear there's 1 billion Wilsons in the world. Okay, so let's type in Wilson and see what we get. And let's do exact match. Yeah, let's do exact match. I'm not worried so much about grantor and grantee. I don't know anything about book page and document number, but let's search. Let's do search. Okay. And there's an example of you know, mortgages being filed, deeds being recorded, all kinds of stuff. Okay, and you can see there's obviously a lot of Wilsons out there. Look, Wilson Resort Finance. So obviously there's a Wilson in Florida who does a lot of financing. But look at all the look. By the way, you get let's view image. Let's just pick one. Okay. And computer is waiting. It's waiting. It's waiting. And there you go. Look at that. All kinds of good information here. Whoop, there you go. Book and deed. Let's see what else is on this. I think that was, you know, that's pretty much it. You can see the actual recording. Now that's just one example. Let me kill that and see where I go back to. Oh, sorry, I went there. We can also go, let's go to County Court Records Management. I'm not going to spend a lot of time. I just want to show you what's possible and show you that, you know, nobody's a genius at all this stuff. You just have to get out there and actually roll up your sleeves and put forth the effort to find what's important to you. I will give you a hint. Everybody just take a second, take a deep breath here for a second and pause. I want you to listen to this. One of the things we're working on our membership site is we are looking at creating a resource page that allows you to drill down from the country level to the county level, because in Canada we also have provinces and not states. We have counties just like you do in the states, all right, and municipalities. Okay, we're going to actually build a resource page. We're actually working on it now that has everybody's data in there. So you're going to be able to drill down. If you're in California and you're in LA County, so you would click on the state first, click on the county, then click on wherever you are. You know, I mean, there's multiple counties around there. I like Calabasas because I have friends there, and now I have more friends and colleagues who are taking the training program. But in any case, remember that we're going to be building this into our website, so you're not going to have to do a lot of hunting and pecking and guessing. You'll be able to drill down specifically to your court records, as well as your county tax assessment database. Okay, so hopefully we got some cheering going on in the bleachers on that one. That's going to save you guys a lot of time. In any case, look at all the stuff that's out there: traffic tickets, child support, online foreclosure sales, public records. All this stuff is out there. All right, so I mean, we can just take one. Let's just pick this one because everybody's always interested in foreclosures. Let's see what pops up. Let's see if we can get some free information. Start here, register, auction calendar. Okay, I'm not going to register for anything. How does the auction work? Blah, blah, blah. That's just a Q&A. So let's go back. External links, tax collector, property appraiser, county controller, Florida. Let's see what other websites are available. Okay, those are the individual. Well, let's just try this. Look, check this out. Hernando foreclosure. Okay, let's see what pops up here. And all I'm doing, guys, I'm just playing around here. All right, I haven't actually been to these pages. All right, so that's that. You can see that it's possible, no matter where you are, to locate your information. All right, for whatever it is you're looking for in your town, in your county, in your state. All right, and I'm going to click off this here too, by the way. Now I want to go back to this first. There's a resource page. Here's Canada assessment links. So for your Canadian, you can go here, all right, and get your tax assessment data. This is you've all heard of Geomatics. Okay, there's GIS data and GEO warehouse. That's what this is. Now most people in Canada, most agents, the good news is your board actually provides access to this. They actually pay for it, and again, you get access because you're a board member with your license in Canada. All right. In any case, CanadianBusiness.com, that will be similar to like BizJournals.com in the U.S. All right, but let's just take this for example for the Canadian folks, and I will be back up in Canada. Oh, excuse me, not this weekend, the following weekend. Okay, let's copy that. Go into here, and I'll just replace this actually. Hit enter. And here you go. Provincial assessment authorities, municipal organizations, municipalities, okay, provincial governments. All these websites are in here. Let's see. I'm going to choose Ontario, for example, because we have a lot of people. We have students in Toronto, Ottawa, and Montreal, and in the Ontario province, all around Toronto, we've got several. I mean, London, Hamilton, you name it. Any case, here's your basic website. There's looks like an instructional video there. Property owners, municipal, let's see, assessment notice, assessment update, property valuation explain, aggregate sales data, forms, municipal, all this stuff is out there for you guys, okay? It's all out there. Let's pick municipalities, municipal connect. Let's just try this, for example, because I haven't been on this one myself, municipal connect. Okay, it looks like you can actually, yeah, there is Municipal Connect GIS Viewer Client Support Notes version. They use, for those of you who aren't familiar with Canada, they use GIS a lot, right? I've used it myself before. So in any case, all this is out there. It'll be available for you. But what I want to do now is go to an example. And let's see, where's the example? Here it is. Okay, so I am now at a county court records database, all right? Let's just say this is your county, wherever you are, Greene County, Tennessee, all right? Let's click on the very first one, Civil and Family Division, because that's where I want to be to find things like divorce filings, you know, other, you know, foreclosures, you name it. So let's do search, okay? Actually, user login, because I've already got a, and I'm going to search or to pay for filings by credit card login here. So I'm going to click on that. Now, I didn't have to pay for this. I've already got a membership for free. So I'll click on that. And now this is the important part, guys. I like to search by date. And I'm going to explain why here in a minute. So I'm going to click on case search by date. So case search by date range. Click on that. All right. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select court type. Okay. So you've got arbitration, family division, delinquent taxes, federal tax liens, mortgage foreclosure, pretty important one, right? You know, tax people appealing their tax assessments, that's not too exciting there, but let's just try arbitration and see what we get here. So I'm going to pick 01/20, because I like to go back just a week, all right? Because I've discovered within a week, a lot of stuff gets filed, way more than you can possibly handle, all right? Okay, so you can see all these people filing against each other, all right? Let's see, Arbors Management against Dubois et al. That's going to be LT is landlord or tenant, okay? Commonwealth of PA versus Hapke. I'm not sure what, operator's license suspension. Okay, now let's just click on one of these. Let's just click here and see what we get. This is the docket number. Okay, so we can see the plaintiff, okay, the defendant. You get their actual addresses and their names. So somebody named Spicer Dubois is being evicted. Okay, they're the defendant. They live at 78 Village Club Drive. Get the full address. They're being evicted by the plaintiff, Arbors Management. All right. So, you know, now what you can do is you can take this address. Okay. So let's say this tenant's being evicted. Let's take this address. Actually, this is the street. And this, I'm going to give you a precise example of how you can lose eviction cases. So we're going to copy the address of where the tenant lives. All right. Then we're going to go to, I want to go to, I don't know if I have it here. Let's see. Let me go back here. I have my county tax assessment database up. I may have to bring it back up. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, Allegheny County tax assessment. So hang in there, guys. It's going to take a second, but this is going to open up a lot of eyes for people. So now I've got the street number and a street name. I'm going to go down here and type in the house number, delete it from up here. So now I've got the street name, the house number. I'm going to go into search. Okay. Whoops. We're sorry we couldn't find. Oh, we had to take off drive. I'm sorry. Village Club. See, it says right there, do not include drive, street, whatever. So search. And bingo, there we go. So the tenant, okay, the tenant, Spicer DeBosch, Spicer is probably one person's last name, DeBosch is the other person's last name, is being evicted from this property, 788 Village Club Drive, by Arbor's Management, who manages the property for these owners, Richard Adam and Takui Majian, looks like. And guess what you get? You get their business address, okay, or their mailing address is the owner's mailing address. So now you can mail this owner, you've got their address, you've got their name, send them this letter that says, Dear so-and-so, writing to you about your property located at 788 Village Club Drive, whatever that was, okay? I'm not suggesting you sell your property if you don't want to. However, inventory is tight. Now remember, at this point, you're not hitting in between the eyes. You're not saying, I understand you have a tenant's being evicted. Hey, you want to sell your property because you hate real estate? Don't do that. You're writing them because you're interested in the property, all right? And they've got a property, as far as they know, you have no idea that they're evicting a tenant. But the point is, because they are evicting a tenant, they may be interested in seeing what their property would sell for. You guys see the big point here? See the big picture? In a matter of a few minutes, I've got a red-hot potential prospect who owns a rental property where he's got a tenant problem, and maybe he's been through it a number of times. He's tired of it. He might be interested in selling, and he used this letter. You can literally use this letter exactly the way it's worded now. You don't have to even alter it, and send it to these two guys here at this address. Now, when you send it, you don't use this address in the letter. This is on the envelope. This is the address you put in the letter, Village Club Drive. Okay? Now, let me do a quick pause here because I just gave you a really good example and a lot of information. So let me go back to questions here and see if I've got any, excuse me, any questions. Let's see. We got a lot of questions. All right, hang on one second, guys. I'll get to them. Hang on one second. We got a lot of questions. Okay, that's good. Everybody's paying attention. Deanna from McCullough. Hey, Deanna, how you doing? Okay, and we're caught up. So let me go back down. Let's see. Definitely interested in learning about tax liens. That's Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Okay, excellent. I had a feeling you guys would be interested. It's an interesting subject. I'd be more than happy to share it with you. I'm going to bring on an expert, though, and we'll get into some detail. We'll probably do that, let's say, next month in February, which is only a week away. Lots of people interested in tax liens, okay? Okay. Let's see. Who is that? Scott. Yeah, so Scott's in a county where he has to actually pay for county court records. Let's see. I just lost your question here, Scott. Hang on one second. Here it is. Okay. It is $35 per month, okay, fee for access to the probate, circuit, and general sessions. So for $35, Scott gets access to all those records. You can also, he mentioned this too, by the way, thanks for bringing this up, Scott. If you guys are ever uncertain, okay, or you get to, some counties will actually require you to come in person. They'll tell you, they don't dispense this stuff over the internet, but most counties do, particularly in the areas that have, say, 100,000 residents or more. Okay, nothing wrong with going to visit them in person. All right, and when you do, you get to use their computers, and you got to pay usually per paper and stuff like that. Okay, all right. So this is Margaret. Hi, Margaret. It's good to hear from you. Margaret asks, okay, what information are we looking for in order to identify people likely to sell to mail the letter to? So Margaret, okay, everybody get your pencils ready and pens. Here's the uses for this letter. The first use is identifying people who own rental properties and send them the letter. Again, you can get real specific and look for people who are going through landlord or tenant actions, because not only do they own rentals that are currently causing them headaches. All right, so that's a good example. Another one would be go to probate, your probate records, which is people who there's a decedent, someone's passed away, and the property is going through probate. Big, huge pain in the neck, and you've got 3 or 4 brothers and sisters who can't agree on anything, and nobody wants to step up to the plate and deal with this nonsense. And here you come with this letter, naively, innocently, letting somebody know, hey, we have an interest in your property, and you're not hitting them over the head. You're not saying, hey, I know your mom passed away. We'd like to buy your property. Don't do that. Go in there with the soft touch. Okay, you're there to help. You're there to service them. You're not making any comment at all about their personal circumstance, because you don't know these people. Remember, you haven't established know you, like you, trust you yet. The only thing you've done is intrigue them because you know them by name and you know their property by address, and you actually have a buyer that you name personally, and you're offering a free service. So you keep the letter. In any case, probate. All right. Next one is divorce. That's going to be in your family court division. Okay. Next one is going to be foreclosure. Next one is going to be bankruptcy. Okay. Those are the main uses for the letter, and all of the latter examples I gave you, those potential sellers can be found in your county court records. What couple is going through a divorce? Somebody's filing against the other. Somebody in family court, the husband suing the wife or the wife suing the husband for divorce. Okay, and that's what you're looking for. Probate is easy. The property's got to go through probate to settle the estate. And of course, you all understand bankruptcy and foreclosure. Sometimes you'll see bankruptcy and foreclosure, you'll see the same person. They're declaring bankruptcy and foreclosure at the same time. All right. Okay, so Margaret, does that help you? By the way, you can use these for expires and FSBOs again. I've discovered that that's a lot more work, and those people, let's face it, guys, the FSBOs believe they can sell it themselves. I'm not saying don't do that business. I've done it before. I made it work. Here's the trick with FSBOs. Give them what they want. They want to sell the property themselves. Give them a property sale kit and say, hey, you know what, use this, see how you do on Facebook and the local publication and what have you. And I'm here to help you. Here's my number. No obligation. I'll help you sell your property by yourself. About a third of the time, you're going to get those people to use you. Okay. Expires are on the hand are probably a little bit ticked off. It's somebody who has an expired listing is different than somebody who's going through a divorce. Somebody who's going through a divorce definitely wants help. Somebody who just had a property expire because it didn't sell is going to be ticked off at the entire real estate industry. Okay, so you're already fighting an uphill battle. But you can use it if you want for those examples. I'd rather see you use it on the examples we just gave, because it's much easier to get listings that way. All right. Okay, let's see. This is Anastasia. To find properties, you need to go to Orange County Appraiser website. Yeah. So on the websites, Anastasia, I gave earlier that list of websites, or the BRB. In there, if you remember, we had access to the appraisal website. Excuse me. Okay. Let's see. This is Russ Smith. Russ is. Hang on one second. I just lost the. Here it is. Okay. If www.yourstate.state.us does not work, try www.co.yourcounty. Yeah, that good point, Russ. So www.co.yourcounty's.state.us. And the other thing too is you can just Google a lot of these things, guys. You just Google, Okeechobee County tax assessment database, Okeechobee County court records. It'll give you the list of properties, list of websites you can go to. Okay, Deanna asks, is it legal to contact owners represented by leasing tenants or property managers? Yeah, what you want to do is, by the way, thanks for bringing it up, Deanna. So if you're using the letter to approach people that you know are already under contract with another broker, okay, like property management, actually, I would put those at the bottom of those letters regardless. When I use those letters in the beginning, the example I gave you was because I'm sending it to people who own rental properties, typically they're not listing them. But for the other examples, you do sometimes have to be careful, because sometimes people already had their property listed because they're going through divorce. So what you want to say at the bottom is this. It's a disclosure or disclaimer. At the bottom you say, this is not an attempt to enter into an agreement with you to sell your property if you are already under agreement with another broker, or if this is not an attempt to solicit your business if you're under any agreement with any other broker for property management. Okay, so good point, Deanna. Now, if you put that in there, you can't get in trouble. Okay, it's disclosure. Okay, so this is Margaret. Okay, do you work these as a farm mailing monthly? Yes, good question. So what I do is, Margaret, this letter I send to the same people every single month, month after month, for 12 months. Now, as they respond to you, you drop them from the next mailing. So let's say somebody responds to the third mailing, you don't send them the fourth mailing or any other mailing after that, okay? Because now they're a prospect. They've contacted you, they responded to something you gave them, and they're not just a lead now. Now they're a prospect because they called you based on something you gave them, right? So every month for 12 months until the year expires where they respond to you, all right? And this is John Foley. Hi, John. Let's see. John says, can you put that letter back up while you're answering questions? Yeah, no problem. And there you go. Okay. And by the way, John, this is in your material. You actually got the letter delivered to you. When you logged in the first time, the email that Beverly sent you should have directed you to this letter and a few other things also. Okay. Let's see, Mel, I cannot see the other questions. Melanie, oh yeah, unfortunately you can't see the other people's questions, Melanie. I just read them out to you. Let's see. Sherry V says, I would like to learn more about tax liens. Okay, well, good news, guys. I'll go ahead and spill the beans. I'm actually being interviewed tomorrow by Ted Thomas, and he's considered the national guru on how to profit from tax lien certificates. So what I did is, before I agreed to have him interview me, I had his office agree that I would interview him also at a future date. So it's in the bag. We're going to interview Ted Thomas. I'll broadcast my interview tomorrow. I'm not sure when it'll be broadcast, but you guys will all get a copy of it. But more importantly, look for an announcement of where I'm going to interview him, and we'll put it out there for you guys. And the good news is it's going to be recorded, and you'll have access to it to listen to it anytime you want, forever. Okay. Okay, this is Melanie. Let's see. Melanie says, okay, so we don't know anything about the property. Does that matter? Correct. At this point, Melanie, all you're trying to do is you're trying to establish contact, and you want them to contact you. And the reason is now you're starting off in a warm position. So instead of you cold calling them, okay, that's a hard barrier to overcome. When they call you, they're already a prospect automatically. You've got, in the case of buyers, for example, when a buyer contacts me because of the marketing I've done, like a webinar, a workshop or the booklet, I assume a transaction, because all I do is I build rapport, just like we discussed in the first part of the meeting tonight. Get them in rapport. They got nothing to lose. All you're going to do is set them up on a search initially and get them qualified. Okay, but I've never had anybody go to that point and say, I don't want to work with you. It just never happened. So in any case, when it comes to the other side, this side, what we're talking about tonight, getting the properties, same kind of concept. When they call you, that's a prospect, a warmed up prospect. At that point, you've already set yourself apart from everybody else. You've identified them by name. You've identified their property specifically. Okay, you told them you specifically sought them out. You're not suggesting anything at all about their personal circumstances. All you're saying is, I have people who are interested in properties just like yours. Let's see what your thing would sell for. All right. Later on, you'll do your due diligence, financial due diligence, and the actual physical analysis on any property. That comes as a part of the normal part of the process. Okay. Let's see. This is Mariana. Hi, Mariana. Oh boy. I'm sorry, that's not Marina, that's Marina. Hi, Marina. Okay, some towns bundle tax liens. They target large investors. For example, Lowell, Massachusetts, um, a bundled tax lien costs six figures. Yeah, what you do there, um, in large metropolitan areas, so they will more likely do that. And you can partner with people. I mean, I've done that before. I don't like getting involved with all the nitty-gritty details with this stuff. What I do is I'll act as a backer or a financier, like a lender, for example, um, and let other people go through all the work. Matter of fact, my son's learning how to do this, and my son's going to be basically my investor. He's going to go out there and invest my money, and he's going to get a cut of everything I make. He's graduating college in May, so he should be smart enough, right? Okay, but this is one of the things he's going to do, because the people I know who do this, guys, for the most part, do pretty well. There's some risk involved, but the reward risk ratio is actually pretty good. Okay, this is Russ says, do you what do you do if your state court records are not online? Well, Russ, I don't really care so much about the state level. I'm always going at the county level. Okay, everything all the people we're approaching here, um, all those filings occur at the county level, and that's pretty much true across the board in every state in the union, and even up in Canada. So, in any case, the only thing that's filed at like the locality level, like the municipal level, in an individual town, like Lake City, Florida, or Dayton, Ohio, for example, okay, or Lafayette, Indiana. Those are usually the smaller cases, 10,000 and below, or your landlord tenant cases start there. If they get appealed, they go up to the county level. But everything else, divorce, foreclosure, bankruptcy, those always start at the county level. Okay, the state level is going to be stuff that has evolved and appealed up to the state level. And at that point, I'm really not interested, because that stuff could take forever. If something's been appealed to like the state Supreme Court level, that's not. I wouldn't mess around with those things, because you're going to spend a lot of time. I'd rather focus on ones that are just occurring now. They're hot, they're fresh. People are like, they're scared, they're nervous. They want help. They just don't know how to ask for it. They don't know who to trust. Those are the people I want to go after. The ones that are going all the way up to the state Supreme Court level, if they're fighting the banks and they're fighting the state over their properties, they sure as heck aren't going to want to deal with us to help them sell it. They're obviously intent on keeping it. Whatever they're doing, they're playing a much bigger game. So does that make sense, Rush? Okay, this is Marina. Let's see. How do we know who is the executor on a probate case? Well, typically, let's just see if that example is still up there. The county court records. Let's see. Where was I? Is that here? Let me do this. Let me go back to here. Here we go. Okay, press the back button. Okay, so I'm going to select Marina. Okay, administration, docket, court records from delinquent family, federal tax lien, general docket, juvenile, mortgage, treasurer sales, rules docket, secure transaction. Let's try this. I don't know where probate is in this county, but let's see what we come up with here. Failing the division. Let's just pick this and see what it says. But usually probate has a different indicator. Okay, this is the divorce case here. So let's go back. So by the way, so here as you can see, marriage is the #1 leading cause of divorce, as evidenced by this. I'm not trying to be callous, guys. It's just if you've been through it, you gotta look at things with a sense of humor sometimes, right? Let's see here. I'm not seeing, these all look like divorce cases. So in any case, basically to answer your question, Marina, is in probate, I don't know your particular county court records, but again, just like we said earlier, if you're uncertain of anything, just go visit your local county court and ask them to show you one probate docket, so you can see how it works, right? And you can see what you're looking for online. As a matter of fact, a lot of these things, remember, these aren't designed for us guys. These are designed for attorneys, okay? That's why you hear some of the agents saying, oh, I just go to my attorney. The problem with that is the attorney is going to want something out of it, or they're not working for free, all right? Number one. Number two is they sure don't have a lot of time for us, all right? But if they can get you access and show you how to do it, that saves you a step. If not, you've got to go downtown or go to your local county seat and ask them to show you, what are you looking at and how do you know what the executor is, okay? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I was going to go back. I wanted to see if I could find probate, and I did not see probate on this. But let's go back one level and see. Maybe there's something else. Okay, let's go back one more page. Search. Okay, we don't want to do that. Criminal Wilson's. Okay, this might be pretty close here. Let's see. Draw down, search, probate. Here we go. Bingo. Probate forms. Let's do search. Now, I don't know if I have a log in here. Let's see. Be nice if I did. Ooh, hey, I do. Okay, so I just searched for probate. Okay. Date range. All right. And again, we'll type in 01/20/2016, 01/27/2016. Decedent's estate. Right there. Here's executor of record. Okay, is that what you wanted? Let's see. Executor. That's what you wanted. Executor of record. Search. And okay, let's see. Click on case study hyperlink. Okay, no entries in the last week, so let's expand. Well, that's unusual. Nobody's passed away in the last week. Let's go back to the 27th. Let's go back to the 6th. Okay, that'll give us a 3-week range. Yeah, that's unusual. Usually you'd think more people would pass away in a week. Let's check another record. Let's check decedent's estate, because I think that's going to give us more results. Here we go. Okay, legal name, decedent, filer name, main party, docket entries, joint trust assets, information notice. Okay, well, this is one where I would either call the county marina, all right, or go visit them in person. Let's see, power of attorney, presumption of death, decedent's estate, I think we did that. Miscellaneous decedent's estate petition, letters of administration. That could be a possible one there. Let's try that. Okay, Annie Mae. Well, wouldn't that be amazing if I actually knew somebody on here? Okay. I don't see anything that says anything about executor. Okay. We're spending a lot of time with this. So, Marina, you get the point. It's out there. If you're not seeing what you need, call the county record, ask for the probate division, and they should be able to help you out. You're usually better off. The reason I tell you to go visit in person is, like Scott's probably discovered, and my friends up in Canada, this is what I discovered in Canada. You get a lot further when you go visit them in person. You only got to do it once. You do it once, you get the ropes, and you're in good from that point on. Okay, good question though. All right, let's see. I assume you find the addresses in the county records. You have to check to see if they're within your map search rentals. Peter, yeah. Now, a couple things here, Peter. Depending on how populated your area is, okay, you can, if you're in a densely populated area, yes, you want to narrow things down. You don't want to be sending this thing out to 100 people. If you're in a lightly populated area, like for you, way out in the like Worcester, okay, you can just do whatever zip codes are in Worcester and hit all those people up, all right? So it's more based on the population of your area as far as how narrow down you focus your search geographically. Okay, this is Deanna. Like the examples, intended eviction represented by agency. I'm thinking you're saying you like the example, or you're referencing another statement like this is like the example. I'm not sure about that, Deanna. Okay. Oh, she says, okay, good, thanks. So I got it. All right. That Sherry says, awesome. Thank you. Congrats. Oh, you're welcome. Okay. And thank you. Okay. Are you hand addressing the envelope? Um, this is Kelly Boyd. Are you keeping track of them in an Excel spreadsheet or absolutely? Okay. So Kelly, here's what I do. I basically print off everybody I'm sending this letter to, and I absolutely hand dress every envelope. And as they respond to me, I check them off my list. I put the date they responded, and I make a little note about how the conversation went. Okay. Now, here's the important point here, guys, for everybody. Once someone responds to you from the letter, now they're a prospect. Now you enter them into your contact management system. You don't enter them beforehand because you don't have any direct contact. Now they contact you, they're a prospect. So the prospects are the only people you enter into your contact management system. You don't put in cold leads because they'll just bog you down, take up all your resources. And remember, we're not going after cold leads. Let the other agents do that. We're focusing on warm prospects here. So they respond to you, you put them in your database, and now you track them more accurately and profitably in your database. Okay. Russ says states run the courts. States run the courts. Counties are very weak in New Hampshire. Yeah, New Hampshire is going to be lightly populated, Russ, compared to obviously Mass. So if you're running into if you're not finding, you know what? Let's just do this. Let's go back to that BRB. Hopefully, it's still up. That's the Canadian one. Let's see, is this the BRB one? That's Allegheny County. All right, let me go back here, Russ, and let's give you a helping hand. Let's go back to BRB. Whoops. Copy. Let's go down here, and we will plug this into here. And we're going to go to New Hampshire. By the way, I really like New Hampshire, Russ. I mean, that was pretty awesome when I was up there. New Hampshire. Here we go. Bingo. That's state. And look at that. Not very many counties, right? So let's choose Merrimack County. And actually, if you want me to select a particular county, let me know. But you can see right here, there looks like they're all there. Superior Court, Concord Circuit Court, Franklin Circuit Court, Hillsborough, Probate Division. Here's your probate. Let's see what we find here. Okay. Let's see. Free calls, et cetera, these directions. All right. Court rules, administrative office, committees, job performance evaluation case. They're not really giving us much here. Mediation, arbitration, home, probate mediation. Let's just see what we find here. Okay. Probate court administrative order 11 for details. Who are the mediators? What is the purpose? Okay, this is just a Q&A. All right, let me go back. So maybe probate wasn't the best one to pick. We'll cancel out of that. Go back here. Let's see, free county public record search. Okay, I should have done that right from the beginning. Property tax and ownership. GIS mapping. Property tax. Let's just pick one. Let's pick the first one, Franklin County. Okay. So here you can search by name, parcel ID, or by address. Okay, that's somewhat helpful, but not really helpful. I'd rather search by other information, but they're all probably going to be the same. All the counties up there will be exactly the same. Let's check. Let's do this. Superior Court, documents recorded at town level. Click here to see full document reorder info. So this is going to take you down to the town level, Allentown School District. Okay, property tax records, bid of property assessment, property for sale real estate. Let's just pick this. Okay. So it's interesting. You can search at the property level. Property owner search, property taxes lookup, property tax records. Look up property taxes, free property records, housefacts.com. Okay. So basically, I know we're jumping around here, guys, but the reality is Look at what's possible for you. All right, free report will give you property ownership records, property deed history. Okay, view sample reports. Let's just pick one. And I'm going to go back here while we're doing that and check for more questions. Okay, let's see. Scott Mosley says confidential. Okay, so I won't bring this up in public, Scott. It's about a pretty cool effort. I wish I could tell people that because we've got a lot of people in Florida who'd love to know what you just mentioned there. So, in any case, good news. It's good news, Father. Don't worry. It's actually very good news. Okay. All right. So we are searching for properties to offer to our investors prior to going to MLS. This is Wesley. Yeah, Wesley, what you're doing here is, here's what I do with this information. So I find these people who own these properties that I believe I can sell because I've got clients who want to buy them. Now, you might be thinking, okay, let's connect them directly, connect the supplier and the buyer. But what I actually do is I go in there on a listing appointment, Wesley, and I'll encourage the owner to let me list it for him because of this one very big reason. Remember in the letter how we said inventory is tight right now? So you've got potentially already a motivated seller. They own a rental that everybody who owns rentals at some point is going to want to sell. Anybody who's going through probate or divorce or foreclosure or bankruptcy, they're going to want to have to sell, actually. So what I do is I tell them, if that's the case, if you really believe you should sell your property, let's see what it's worth, okay? Number one. Number two is, why don't we list it? Because if I just connect you with one client, you have one negotiation going on, all right? However, if I can put it out there on the MLS system, and the thousands of agents who are out there representing their buyers here, everybody's looking for a good deal, look at your property. Now you maybe potentially get multiple offers. Multiple offers means auction mentality, which means drive the price up. And Mr. Seller, wouldn't you like to have the most money possible for your property? Let's get this thing listed. So I always list it. Okay, I know I'm going to find a property for my buyer, but the bottom line is I want to help the seller get the most money he can, just like I want to help my buyer get the best deal he or she can. As a broker, I'm looking to bring the two together, but the more people I bring together, the more money the seller is going to get. Does that make sense? Okay, let's see. This is Olga. Hi, Olga. Okay, if there are any specifics I should look for when choosing probate property to work with, or are they all alike? You know what? Probate is a funny business, Olga. You're going to have situations. I've had situations that are as many as 6 or 7 brothers and sisters who are all heirs to this one house. And I've had them where they were all listed, okay, as co-executors. It was a nightmare. Now, the best scenarios are you've got maybe just 2 or 3 brothers and sisters, and one person's named as an executor. Or better yet, somebody who's in a neutral third party. Those are the easiest ones to work with. The most difficult probate cases are where there's a lot of brothers and sisters, a lot of heirs, okay, and nobody will agree, or everybody agrees except one person, and they're just stuck in the mud. They got to have it their way. That's the challenge with probate. But I'd say probably 20 to 25% of them, usually they're reasonable, like you know what, mom and dad lived a long time. This house is 80 years old. It needs to be sold. I don't have money to put into it. Let's just get what we can, okay? So everyone's different, Olga. It really is. It's a case-by-case basis. The bottom line is you have a scenario where someone has passed away, and there's people who have inherited this house that don't need it or want it. Okay, let's see. Diana says you already answered the question. Thank you. Okay, you're welcome. Sherry says, would you write to each heir when going through the estate? You know, I don't know that I would, Sherry. I've never written more than one letter per estate. Somebody's address has got to be listed there. Okay, and typically I'm going to just obviously use that one address because that's all I know. I only have the one address. I'm using the address that I get. Okay, and then they're obviously going to be more inclined to share it with everybody else. Okay, Scott says go ahead. That's fine about tax liens in Florida. I didn't want to go get sidetracked. Okay, so here's what Scott says, guys. Let me go back to Scott's message. If you're in Florida, hope your Mickey Mouse ears are perked up here. Okay, confidential. My cousin lives in Florida and is killing it with tax liens. Something I have been interested in as well. Glad you are having led on. He is a superstar in the arena. Yeah, I've seen him before. I actually met him before. And I also know people that are doing that. And again, you got to have money, but that's why you're investing in investor agent training program, because we want to help you get cash flow. All right. So you can do these things. Okay, guys. Boy, it is 10 after 8, 11 after 8. Now, I did get through the main part of what I wanted to get through. All these other websites up here, all this is the HUD Homes for Store website. Everybody got these links already. You can play around with them. This is how you can find other inventory that every consumer has access to. They don't know what's out there, but you can help them. And even a lot of agents don't use this, but if you're frustrated with the MLS, use HUD. Okay, use Home Steps. Use VRM. This is all your veteran VA listings. Okay, there's Fannie Mae Home Path. All right, that's to remember BRB Publications. Okay, let's see. That was Allenstown House Facts. So this is a sample report. So here's the sample report. Okay, property name, information, address. Okay, that was for Russ. Let's see. That was the Allegheny County website. So let me close these out, and I'm going to look for last questions here. Okay, and I'm going to put the letter up one more time. Actually, let me put this up, guys, because I put the letter up before. Here again, here's the list of websites for Canada and for US. Everybody should have gotten this already. We're actually going to load this to the website. Let's see, we got another question here. Let's see, this is, whoops. Wesley says, thanks for clarifying. You're very welcome. Okay, this is Peter Lamb. Peter says, I think you need to clarify my question. When you search for the best location for rentals as part of Module 1, now when you look through the county records, do you make sure the addresses are within the locations you mapped out from the Melissa data? Yeah, so just to kind of qualify, Peter, what I'm doing is in a very densely populated area, like I've invested all over the place, I will absolutely make sure the properties I'm coming up with when I look at the county records, I only write letters to the ones that are within my search areas. So you're absolutely right. Okay. Now, if I'm in a less densely populated area, well, just like Russ up to the north of you, up in New Hampshire, I will probably write all the people that own a 3-unit building in a particular town or a particular zip code, because I might only get a couple dozen. Okay. But if I'm down in Boston, yeah, I'm not going to write the hundreds of thousands of people that have a 3-unit building. I just want to focus on the particular neighborhoods I've already identified as being the best areas to invest in. Now, Jamie should be on the webinar. Jamie, I hope you're on. If you're not on, you'll get the recording tomorrow. I wanted to mention this to everybody. You know, we always encourage, whenever I go to teach, I always encourage the class to solicit their market center to produce this school report. Some market centers have done it freely and readily. They've called and asked for information. We give them the spreadsheet. Other market centers are like, we don't know what you're talking about, and we don't understand. And so you've got to be able to demonstrate the value of that school report. So show them the sample of the school report in your material and say, hey, team leader, hey, MCA, this is what I'm talking about. Every agent can benefit from this. Now, when it comes right down to it, guys, sometimes you got to create your own. I can't. Every market center is independently owned and operated, and I can't dictate to them that they have to do the school report. Now, wherever I did business, I did dictate, because if they want me to set up a team in their market center, they've got to give me the school report. But at the same time, it's on the office website, on the resource page, and every agent can benefit from it. So you may have to, from time to time, create your own school report. Then you can show it to your team leader and say, hey guys, this is what I was talking about. This is why this is so valuable. And let them take it over from there, and they'll maintain it from there. I've seen that. So Scott, I know you did your own. I would turn it over to your market center and let them take it over from there once they see how valuable it is. Okay, Margaret says, so do you send the same letter every month, or do you change it up a bit? Good question, Margaret. So what I do is, for you guys, I would not change the letter, because that letter I gave you is like the optimum for results. But what you could do is every third month or every fourth month, include something of value, like a recent article about foreclosures, about rental properties, about evictions, about interest rates, okay, about real estate in general, word of the economy. You could also include a a list of your buyers by last name only. Say, here's all the buyers I've got, guys. They're interested in properties just like yours. Our third thing would be, if you're targeting specific types of properties in specific areas, like a particular zip code, do a search on your MLS system and send them 3 pages. 1 page is a summary of everything that's actively listed that matches their property type, i.e. a 3-unit building, and give them the same thing for what's pending, all the 3-unit buildings that are pending in their area, and then all the 3-unit buildings that have sold in the last 90 days. That's something that's very valuable to somebody who owns a 3-unit building, okay? So you can spice it up, Margaret, by adding that kind of information, not every single month, but every couple of months, okay? Peter says, got it, cool. Oh, you're very, okay, thanks, Peter. Let's see, let me check my audio. Somebody said my sound has died. Looks like it's on now. And I didn't get any other messages about that, Doris. So it could be we've had this happen. Sometimes it's the individual person's computer. Let's see. I showed my MC the example school report. They had no clue. Yeah, remember, most of these market centers have not seen this, guys. So you've got to demonstrate the value. You've got to be your own salesperson. Sell them on the value of the report. I mean, once they see it, when you guys have seen it, you see why it's so valuable, okay? Kelly says it only took her an hour to do her county school report. It wasn't too bad. I still have a couple more areas to do. So Kelly's right, guys. I know when I first saw the first one I did, I asked the MC, and she says, you know what? It took us an hour, and every 90 days we update it. It takes about a half hour, and that's all it is. Okay. Okay, guys. I think we're done with the questions. It is 8:18. This was an awesome session. Hope you guys wrote this down or you took a picture of it. Again, you'll get the recording tomorrow. Again, here's the letter again. Okay, if you need that. But remember, all this is in your material, all right? Well, let's see. We got a few more questions before I sign off. Let's see. This is Brian. Hey, Gary. I've created my own school report also. Awesome, Brian. Good job. Let's see. Peter. Okay. Oh, before I forget, so I tried to do a school report, but our MLS doesn't have the school codes. What do you recommend? So, Peter, see if you don't have school district, see if you have high school code. You should have something about high school name, high school code. You can even do a remark search on the high school name. You could do that. If in doubt, if you ever can, you just absolutely, and this is true in Canada, guys, for all the students in Canada, you can't build a school report based on school. You've got to do it based on your MLS area. So you might have to go down to the MLS area level, Peter. But I thought you have, Peter, I'm pretty sure we've had people do that do their own school report in your area, and they were able to do it. Let me know if you, tell you what, look for a high school code and let me know what you find. Okay, let's see. Margaret says, can you do foreclosures as a topic sometime, both from the purchase and the sale side? I'll tell you what, Margaret, I'm going to write that down because it's going to pick up. There's a lot of inventory out there. Banks are trying to release it because we're headed for another dip, and they don't want to have the same inventory problems that we had last time around. Okay, so next week, webinar for closures. Okay, I haven't talked about that for a while, Margaret, so I'm glad to do it. And I'll just tell you, unfortunately, I spent a lot of time on foreclosures. I'm pretty good at it, but boy, it sure wore me out. I got a lot of gray hairs dealing with foreclosures, but great source of inventory. Okay, Olga says, I can't figure out how to get statistics from school reports as well. So Olga, Olga, you're in Florida, right? So Olga, you have to use the high school code level. You can't, in Florida, the school districts go down to the county level. You don't have school districts like they do in, say, Pennsylvania, for example, all right, or California or New York. So you've got to use your high school code. And then you build your report that gives you what's active and what's sold the last 90 days in price range. If you want to, just let me know, Olga, where you are. I'm pretty sure you're in Florida. Oh, Olga, you're in Northern Virginia. Oh, okay. In Virginia, Olga, same thing. You are at the county level for your school districts, just like Florida. So you've got to go to the high school code, which you do have. I've seen it up. I've used to have access to MRIS, so you can search by high school. Okay. Um, let's see. Oh, that's right, Olga. How could I not remember that you're from Northern Virginia? I must be having a senior moment here. By the way, I'm not sure when I'll be back in DC. It's probably going to be around Easter. I was just up there at Thanksgiving and Christmas, and actually met with a couple of our students, Ken and Tammy. Okay, and I think they're doing their first. Oh, Ken and Tammy, please give me a call because you got a workshop coming up too. We got to go over that. All right. Olga says she found the code. Good. All right. Excellent, Olga. Okay, Wesley, First American Title has an app that shows school zones. Not sure if that helps. Um, that could help, Wesley. The First American Title, I used to sell, I had my own title business for a while and actually was a title agent for First American. So that would be national. So for everybody on the call, Google First American Title and look for their app, or just go on your phone and search for the First American Title app for school zones. It might give you the district codes, but that's all going to be in your MLS anyways. Thanks, Wesley. Okay, just looked in MLS. When I called MLS, they said I would need zip code or type in address of school and do a radius search, like 0.5 miles. Yes, that will work, Peter. I would do that because your school areas are going to be somewhat uniform, not exactly circles, but pretty close anyways. Okay, and I think that was the last question. All right, guys. Hey, boy, great participation tonight. And I want to thank you all for participating so actively because this is the stuff that success is made of. You know, getting on these webinars, chunk by chunk, piece by piece, week by week. You know, success is not a matter of getting lucky. Success is a matter of applying basic principles and basic methods and techniques on a consistent basis. Repetition is the mother of learning, and repetition is the mother of success. I mean, you guys have to remember, you know, I've been doing this for 30 years. You know, when I first got in with using my license, I was successful pretty quickly with the investors using this stuff. But I was, you know, I had the mindset. You know, I knew how to look at a rental, knew how to look at a flip. Not that I was an expert, but I had a couple of them. And you guys get the information in module 2, so don't let that be a stumbling block. You know, practice those tools and get out there like Scott and Peter and everybody else on the webinar night and roll up your sleeves and hit the ground running. Anastasia, all you guys you're doing it. And, you know, I can't emphasize enough how important that action is, just taking action. And you can't worry about what if it doesn't work. That's a mental block that'll stump you up every time. You've got to be asking yourself, how can I make this work? And the answer is by actually doing it, by practicing and doing it. You might strike out 3 times, but when you hit gold, you're going to hit gold, and you know you'll consistently get better and better and better. Admittedly, some of you move faster than others. You can't. There's no way I can predict who's going to move fast, who's going to move slow. Everybody at their own pace. But the people who take action get results. I mean, we have people from the program early on who are getting multiple transactions. We're talking in 2-digit transactions per month now, okay? And it hasn't even been a year. So it absolutely, if that's your goal, write it down, stick it on your bathroom mirror, and make sure you've got a mission statement. My mission statement is, you know, 1 transaction per week, to have that be on pace by June, what's mid-year, June 30th, 2016. Or whatever it is you know, write down your mission and put that on your bathroom mirror so you see it every single day. All right, that's the kind of stuff I want. As a matter of fact, you can share it with me and I'll hold you accountable for it. Okay, let's see here. We got a few more questions here. This is Kim. Thank you, Gary. Have a great night. You're welcome, Kim. Hey, Ken. Hey, Ken's on. Hey, Ken. All right, Gary, we may be pushing back to March. I'm super busy with both listings and buyers right now. Crazy. Hey, no worries, but definitely let's schedule a time. Ken, if Tammy's on too, or if Tammy gets the recording tomorrow, because I think you guys were kind of a little bit of a kind of a hesitation point there for a moment, and I just want to get you in the game swinging the bat. So again, don't worry about how successful you are the first time out. What you think about is just getting it done, because you're going to learn the value is in the exercise. Okay, focus on what you're doing and not the result. The result will come if you focus on what you're doing. I can promise you that. But okay, all right, guys. I hope you have a wonderful night. I'm going to relax and get some water, and I will see you all next week. That will be next Tuesday. I will be in Lake Tahoe at my annual mastermind event. So I'll be getting off the slopes and having the webinar, and we will. I'll tell you what, Margaret. I may go ahead and slide in foreclosures next week because it's the first week of March, and I've got a pretty good feeling we're going to start to see more foreclosures in more areas pretty quickly here. It's just a hunch. I mean, I'm not an expert, but it's just my opinion. Okay, based on the 30 years I've been doing this. Okay, Deanna says, rock Tahoe. Well, I'm going to rock it all right. I won't be rocking it like I did when I was in my 20s or 30s, but I'll be having some fun. Margaret says that would be great. You're welcome, Margaret. All right, you guys have a wonderful evening. God bless you all, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.